Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Tagashi out here in Johnson City, Tennessee again. And I've got two questions, but I'm going to split them up into two calls. And they both revolve around the approaches on tees, or rather just tee pads in general. So first one is I'm a pretty tall guy. I've got really long legs, so that means I've got a pretty long stride. Yeah. And not just like in length of the tee pad, but also in width, because I don't know how to explain it. I just got a weird approach, I guess. But it really helps me to get the distance, the control, and the speed that I desire. And when I'm playing on a small tee pad, you like that?
Small.
On a small tee pad, I feel like I am not able to get that full benefit of my stride. So do I just need to work on getting the same amount of power and distance on a short stride, or work on a standstill? I know you guys, I hear quite often about how Robert claims to be the man of average height. So I want to hear if you guys have had any similar issues, or if maybe you've heard of somebody else that are tall like me, have had the same kind of issues and how they work through it. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that, and look for my next question. Thanks.
Cool.
What do you think, guys?
Long run-ups are not exclusive to tall people.
Ask James Conrad.
Yeah, but he's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you just said?
They are not exclusive to tall people.
Oh, correct,
Yes.
Correct.
Now, a lot of tall guys do have long run-ups. James definitely has a long one. It's tough because watch somebody like James throw. James is probably 6'4", 6'3", pretty tall fella, and really, really lanky. And he takes a couple of steps before he even gets to the tee pad. And so if you are going to keep your steps consistent, you need to get really good at taking those couple steps before and then transitioning onto the tee pad so that you're not thinking about your feet. I'd say the most important thing is not having to think about those steps. You want it to feel natural so that the only thing you're thinking about is hitting your target.
Correct.
If that means shortening up your steps a little bit, I could see that being helpful. I have a pretty short run up, and so
I do as well.
This hasn't affected me very much.
It's affected me, but the only time it really does affect me is when it's wet conditions and it's a short pad where you have to kind of start off the tee.
Yeah, or like when you throw a big Anheuser roller or something.
Yeah, something like that off the corner of the tee or off the side of the tee. That's when you have to transition from the grass or the ground to the tee pad. And if a tee pad is installed correctly, it should be flush and it shouldn't be an issue at all. But that's not always the case. So when there is like a little bit of an elevated tee, or there's a little bit of a step up, I like to maybe just take one step onto that tee and then do my run up. Usually what I'll do is I'll kind of eliminate one of the steps in there and just go straight into the X step. Make it a little bit more shorter and compact.
Yep, that's what I would do too. But I mean, we're two guys who are on the shorter side of, not super short, but certainly not as tall as this gentleman sounds.
My whole life.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.